All right, welcome to live video number 3. So today we're talking about mixing yourself on the kit. Like I wrote in the description, this is one of the most overlooked skills and duties really as a drummer. And it's just one of those things that, since it's not like a flashy and cool type of thing, it doesn't get much airtime. So a little story that I found really interesting. A handful of years back, I was recording in LA with a buddy, and the engineer up there was very seasoned and had done all types of records and, big name stuff and whatnot. And I was kind of dorking out and asking him about, because he had mentioned he had worked with Vinny Colaiuta, which is one of my favorite drummers, and one of the most well-known drummers of all time. And so he ended up mentioning other big name drummers he had worked with, just huge all-time studio guys. And I ended up later asking him the question, what sets apart the top guys who have done hundreds of recordings? What sets apart those guys from the, not even like the smaller name guys, but even guys who are well known but not the top? What's the difference between those two? And he didn't even have to think about it. He said the top guys, they mix themselves. You don't have to worry about them hitting the cymbals too hard, and it's so much less work for them. He said as an engineer, it's just so easy to work with a drummer who can mix themselves. So I'll say that this department definitely did not come natural to me. I grew up listening to very heavy music, a lot of punk rock and metal and all kinds of different, very much hard-hitting type rock. And so when I started out, that's kind of what I did. That's what I played, and that's what I liked. I liked the energy, and I liked feeling, hitting the drums. So all that to say that since that was kind of ingrained in me, since I grew up listening to it and playing it, that was my kind of MO. That was how I played. Just realized this camera's not working. Let's see. Pardon the technical difficulty. Okay, there we go. Sorry for having to do the tech stuff during the video. All right. So, like I said, it did not come natural to me to play quiet or to control my volume. I just wanted to feel every note and just hear the velocity and energy and all of that. So when it came to being a working musician, I was definitely in the, in that group of drummers where the sound guy just did not like me, did not enjoy having me at venues because I was just usually bashing. And luckily I was in a rock band, so it was kind of built in that I could play hard most of the time, but but when it came to other stuff, like doing freelance gigs and working with other artists who were not as rock, I was not totally ready for that type of setting. So let's get to the exercises. I have some kind of simple exercises to work on, but they're really helpful. And I'll just say this, that the goal as a drummer is to have as much control over the whole kit, over your whole sound, over each limb, and the dynamics and volume of everything. And there's no one who has that down perfectly, and I certainly don't. But as much as that is important for all 4 limbs to be kind of controlled and mixed, there's no doubt that the right hand, or if you're lefty, the left hand, that your leading hand on the cymbal is most important to control. Because if you think of your kick, snare, and cymbals, you know, because we don't have to control our left foot volume hardly at all. So if we have kick, snare, cymbals, I think of it like kick and snare are pretty much even. Maybe the kick can be a little louder. And then cymbals, well, if you have all three of them at the same level, then the cymbals are just going to be too loud. That's how it is. That's why, you know, even if you're playing at a medium volume, you're gonna be sending out more cymbals than people want to hear. So like, it's kind of an unpleasant, like monotone type of sound. And especially if you're playing at a louder velocity and the cymbals come up that much more, you know, like, I guess it's hard to demonstrate over this stream with this kit and whatnot. But that's when you're going to see people in the crowd closing their ears just because it's too much. And you're going to get asked by the sound guy to kind of tone it back. So the idea is this. You take a kick and a snare pattern, and then I have 4 accent patterns for you on the hi-hat or ride, whichever one. The first one is all accents. So I'm going to start with this kick pattern. Keep it simple. So everything's accented. And then the second one is going to be downbeat accents. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, third one is going to be the upbeat accents. And then the last one is no accents. So as you're working through different accent patterns and you're getting the hang of there actually being quiet notes here with the right hand, we want to get to the point where we can play all quiet notes. Notice my kick and my snare are still playing at, you know, forte. And just to demonstrate, I'll just go from loud and then kind of bring it down so that you can see that you can actually control this hand while these two stay the same. Maybe that's more of like a medium volume. And I'll try to go as quiet as I can. Okay, so that's that. Really simple. And you can apply it to more complicated patterns, or, yeah, I'll just try this one. Okay, next one, downbeat accents. Okay, upbeat accents. And then lastly, we have no accents. All right, so that's the main idea. As you work through these, and if you feel really comfortable with those, what you can do is you can try, you can go from, let's try a 16th note accent pattern. 1 E and 2 E and just try different patterns. So here's one example. Okay, and then I'll take the first kick snare pattern and I'll accent the first of every 3 notes. Oops, messed up. From there, what you want to try is getting the hang of the snare, toms, and kick being at like a, let's say your medium volume, and then just getting the hang of playing your cymbals at a lower volume. That means even when you end a fill and hit the crash, you want to try to hit it lightly. And when you're on the ride, you want to try to play that lightly, and so on. But main idea being, it becomes kind of muscle memory for you to be playing at one volume or dynamic level for your snare and toms, and then you bring it down for any of the cymbals. Since cymbals are naturally just so much louder and so much harsher, you want to be able to tone those back and it be kind of programmed into your hands to not hit them as hard. So don't be the drummer who just shows up and is bashing like I did a number of years ago. You want to have control, and like a sound guy, they can, if every part of your kit is mic'd up, the sound guy can fade how loud your kick is and how loud your snare is, and maybe they'll scale back the cymbals and the overheads. But you actually want to do that. You want to be the sound guy over your kit and thinking, okay, I'm going to have my kick at this level, snare at this level. Let's do the cymbals lower right here. Toms, nice and, more punchy, and so on. So I hope this helps. Feel free to leave a like and a comment, or any questions, any feedback, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.